Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight on the program, it is round number 12 of the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. Tonight, we come to the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. Good evening, race fans. My name is Brett Wheeler, joined alongside by James Rice. And Ricey, welcome back to the booth, and welcome to virtual Volusia Speedway Park.
Thanks, Brett, and it's going to be a good night here tonight with some of the top midget drivers in Australia and USA ready to duke it out around this very, very big track of one of many trucks on the iRacing service, Brett, and one of my favourites, actually.
It's not a bad track to get around. I don't think I've done too many midget races here at the Volusia Speedway Park, so not sure what it's like when it comes to midget racing, but tell you what, we are certainly about to find out. No qualifying on the program, all randomised heat races. There should be 6 heat races on the program, and then of course the top 3 from those 6 heat races will lock themselves into the main event, making 18 cars, and then we'll run 3 B mains, where the top 2 from each of those B mains will make up a 24 car field. And if you lock yourself in via the heat racing format, it's all done on passing points. So the more cars you pass and the higher you finish up in the top 3, you'll actually go into a pole shuffle. We'll have the pole shuffle after the B mains during the warm-up session just before the main event. And then I believe we're doing 35 laps around here tonight. So looking forward to it. Normally you see the track sort of get worn in. Bit of a rule here at the Midget Super League that you're only allowed to do 10 laps. You do any more, you get sent to the back of the bus, and I don't believe that you'll get any passing points whatsoever. So even if you were to come from 10th to 3rd, you wouldn't, where you'd normally go into a pole shuffle, that won't actually happen. So strict rules in place, and just looking at the list here, man, it is a stellar lineup, Ricey. Australia's best. You got a couple of Kiwis in the house. Uncle Sam, they brought his best as well. I know the likes of, I think David Heileman's here, Hayden Cardwell, James Edens, they are household names on iRacing. But that is going to be the practice session done. We are going to move into heat race number 1. So we'll go through your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid for heat number 1 of the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. Brandon Thomas going to start on pole. To the outside, Lance Bainton out of position number 2. Inside your second row, it'll be Carl Hoffman's out of position 3. Sean Rosa lines up out of position number 4. Graham Smith will roll off out of position 5 to his outside. The first American visitor here tonight, JD Brown, going to start position number 6. Ethan Cooper lines up out of position 7 with Bradley Oldfield defending his Midget Super League title this season. He starts position number 8. Joel Berkeley, a feature winner here already this season. He starts position number 9. And Jeremy Frid going to make up a 10-car field here in heat race number 1, Mr. Rice.
Yes, very, very jam-packed field, and heat race number 1 showing some very, very good names. Obviously, Berkeley to Oldfield, and you can't discount some others like Carl Hoffman and Baton, even Thomas. So these guys certainly will be making sure to make good use of passing points like Berkeley and Oldfield, but that's one question to get the answer for at the end. So let's see what these guys can do.
Yeah, interesting to see how JD Brown goes as well. The first of I think about 5 or 6 American visitors here tonight, and what we've seen over the past sort of 6 or 7 weeks. It all started with Ricky Sanders. He went back to back, where then Hayden Cardwell picked up 3 wins in a row. So there was nearly a 6-week period there of it being all just American winners, and they've done well to fit the podium every time that they've sort of entered the 11 rounds so far in the Midget Super League. So no doubt the Americans are going to want to put on another bit of a show here tonight and want to get the win. But we are getting set here for heat race number 1 here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. And now, once that pace truck is in, it goes on the iRacing green flag. So it won't allow the drivers on the pole to jump the start. But here we go, round number 12 of the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. We're about to drop the hammer on green flag. Heat race number 1, 8 laps on the board. And we are underway as Lance Bainton will move to the middle of the racetrack. He'll get around Brandon Thomas. They go 3 wide. Oldfield coming right through the middle. Look on the inside. Bainton goes upside down. Oh, Rosa getting involved in that one. Look at him, 3 wide for 3rd, 4th and 5th. And it is on after the first lap.
And that whole incident there, Brett, has nearly gifted Oldfield a top 3 position. Remember, folks, the top 3 will transfer through. So Oldfield currently on that bubble. Berkeley not far behind. He's in 6th at the moment, but the battle is on up front, Brett. Look at this right now. You've got Jody Brown in the mix, in the 3 wide, going out of turn 2, and he picks it up. Well done to Jody Brown, Brett.
Yeah, going right through the middle there. Now here comes Oldfield on the bottom side. Smith trying to slide just above that slick line on the exit of turn number 4, but 2 by 2 down your front straight away. 3 in the books, and we've got slide jobs galore here at the moment. We've got crossovers. We've got a lot of side-by-side action. 3 wide down into turns 3 and 4 for the race lead. Carl Hoffman's up on the inside. You get a little sideways. Brown gets a little loose there in front of Berkeley. Berkeley, he's right on that tender number 9 machine. That's Slick Sim Sports 9 in front of him. That's the JD Brown entry right now. Smith continues to lead. 5 down this time by just 3 laps left to run.
And Smith gears in the bottom, so about a 4, protecting that low line. But the race is on between Hoffman's and Oldfield. Oldfield looking for way around Hoffman's at the moment. Can't get the job done. But right behind Oldfield now is JD Brown. So remember, folks, don't discount him coming into this final lap.
Yeah, 2 laps left to run here as Hoffman's as there goes Oldfield looking for the slide job, and JD Brown around the outside. That's for position 3. The final transfer spot is up for grabs. If Oldfield wants a shot at the pole shuffle, he needs to finish 3rd, but he's going to get shuffled back to position number 4 at the start-finish line. Oldfield and Brown side by side. Oldfield, no, it's going to be Brown as Smith loses a bit of momentum out of turn number 2. Final time into turn number 3 and 4. Smith, Hoffman's, and it looks like it's going to be Brown to hold on, but here comes Oldfield up on the inside. No. Heat 1 is complete. Graham Smith, officially your winner here in the opening heat of the night, advancing 4 positions. Carl Hoffman's will grab 2nd, 3rd, and going straight through to the main event is JD Brown. Unfortunately for the rest of the drivers, from 4th through to position number 10, well, they've got their work cut out for them. They'll have to go through one of 3 B mains. Bradley Oldfield home in position number 4. Wait for those results to come up on screen right now. Ethan Cooper in 5th. Jeremy Fidd rounds in 6th. Brandon Thomas in 7th. Lance Bainton 8th. Sean Rosa in 9th. And Joel Berkeley a lap down in position number 10. Let's go trackside. Your ultimate dirt to me starting grid. Heat race number 2.
Here, race number 2 looks like this. Out of P number 1 is the 53 of James Robbie. Out of 2, the 43 of Joshua Barry. Out of 3, the 11 of Harry Stewart. Out of 4, the 503 of Jason Crawford. Out of 5, the 22 of Jack Cameron. Out of 6, the 17 of Callum Davidson. With the rejection of the 509 car of Tyler McQuilkin in this heat, so that moves up Elliot Osborne in 1 more spot, and Jock Goodyear off the back.
Yep. Tell you what, Jock's got some opportunities for some points here. Joshua Barry, I believe, one of the newest drivers in the Seller Motorsports Sim team. James Robbie certainly been flying at the Kiwi flag here in the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. He'll be certainly one to watch out for on pole position. Harry Stewart looking to go one better in the championship after finishing 2nd a handful of times to Bradley Oldfield last season, and Stewart picking up a couple of wins last season as well. He finished 2nd overall in the championship, so look for him to move forward. Callum Davidson in the 17, Jock Goodyear. He's, well, courtesy of Tyler McQuilkin, not actually gridding up in heat number 2. He's already advanced 2 positions, so even if he finishes 7th, I mean, he's still going forward in the end, Ricey.
That is very right here, Brett. As the iRacing pace truck about to remove itself off the circuit here for heat race number 2. Green flag is aloft here at Volusia. Good start from James Robbie and Barry on the outside going to turn number 1. Then you got Stewart on the inside, making it nearly 2 wide out of 2. But at the moment, James Robbie still holds that lead just as Barry going to the inside. Side by side, Brett, coming out of turn number 4. For completion of lap number 1 is Stewart. Says to Barry, let's go, buddy. Let's have a good race here. And he gets the job done. Harry Stewart up to 2.
Yeah, making quick work there of Joshua Barry. Now Jack Cameron around the outside of the 56 Suller Motorsports sim team of Joshua Barry. Now Stewart coming after your race leader of James Robbie into turn number 1 and 2. Runs a little high there on the entry into turns number 1 as they come out of turn number 2 this time by. James Robbie continuing to lead the front of the field as here comes Stewart. He'll dance up on the top side of the racetrack, looking to get a run on the outside of James Robbie. And, oh, look out, he takes the race lead. Harry Stewart with a big power move around the outside in turns 4.
Yes, well done to Harry Stewart for that nice pass on James Robbie. So now Stewart is driving away just a little here in heat race number 2. So he will move quite quickly through as James Robbie still in second. Then right behind them is the third and final spot going into the finals is Joshua Barry. But you got Goodyear and Osborne duking it out for 4th.
Hey, there was an incident a couple of laps ago. Good, you're getting into, I think, the left front of Jack Cameron, I believe it might have been, and then Callum Davidson had nowhere to go on that exchange. As Goodyear powers it down low into turn number 1. Osborne makes his way back to position number 4, but second and third, or first, second, and third, they're practicing social distancing on the racetrack. Ricey with 2 laps left to run. Stewart leads from Robbie and Joshua Barry. All barring any sort of computer mishaps, I dare say that they will make it straight through to the main event.
Harry Stewart now getting the white flag here at Volusia as we're starting to see basically the mid-groove nearly gone, or the bottom mid-groove anyway. As it's a fast racetrack tonight, Brett, and it's going to be slide job school later on. So Harry Stewart out of turn number 4 gets a little bit unsettled, but he gets the race win. Followed by Robbie, that is James Robbie from New Zealand, and Joshua Barry.
Yes, Joshua Barry home in third. Top 3 going straight through to your main event. Everybody else, 4th on back. We'll take a look at those heat race number 2 results. Elliot Osborne in 4th. Jock Goodyear rounds out your top 5. Jason Crawford in 6th. Callum Davidson and Jack Cameron home in 7th and 8th. And of course Tyler McQuilkin, well, he did not make the start there of heat race number 2. Heat race number 3 cars on the racetrack right now. Let's take a look at your ultimate dirt to be Regan Tyler in the 156. Going to start on pole to the outside. That'll be Noah Page at a position number 2. Position number 3 for Swindell Speed Lab. In car number 1, that'll be James Edenster. He's outside the 191 of Mitchell Piskalik. Darren Lord driving the 015. Going to start position number 5. And Jacob Dixon will start position number 6. Bob King will start position 7. Dale Jordison out of position 8. And Kyron Redpath making up a 9-car field here in heat number 3.
One name, Brett, that hasn't been around for a good time is Bob King. He hurt his, actually broke his ankle, I think, coming into the World Series campaign. I think it was the second to last round there. It's good to see the 51 back on the track. But this heat race is stacked. Edens, Pisklik, Dixon, Jordanson. Wow. Let's see what happens, Brett.
Yeah, look, personally, I think not Noah Page. I think James Edens is going to win. If we're talking about picking some winners, I think James Edens may just get the job done. He's very experienced in the World Championships across all the dirt side of things, whether it's late models, wingless, wing sprint cars. I mean, just anything that he steps his backside into. He's been around the block, certainly, a couple of times. But heat number 3, we'll keep an eye on him. Another one of these American visitors. Now, we say visitors, although we are in Barbersville, Florida, here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. But they're getting up early in the morning, 5, 6 a.m. up over there as the green flag flies. Heat race number 3 is 8 laps is on the board as Regan Tyler going to lead the field down into turn number 1 and 2. Edens running in second now, gets a whole lot of drive down on the bottom side of the racetrack. And look at how good he was just holding the bottom side, but he just drifted up a little bit. But Regan Tyler going to lead lap number 1. Eden's now going to work back to the inside into turns 3 and 4. He'll go the slide job. Regan Tyler already on the crossover. Dixon. Some problems and dramas into turn number 3 and 4. But James Eden's now your new race leader after 2 laps. Tyler and Page, your top 3. As we've got Jordison coming on by Mitchell Piskalik for that 4th position. As Jordanson just rolls through the slick, and that allows Piskalik to be back around the outside.
So fight is on here for Brett, for second now, Brett, as Regan Tyler is under siege at the moment from Noah Page. Remember, folks, top 3 as Slider. Here we go. Race is on. Further back. And we're on screen at the moment on stream. Piskalik goes back underneath of Noah Page and gets the... Oh, no, sorry, that was Noah Page going underneath. So he picks up the 3rd spot. But Brett, it's getting juicy.
It is with 3 to run that time by. Is now Piskalik again throwing the big slide job there on Noah Page. Page turns it back underneath him. This is the battle on screen. That's the pink and black 042 machine of Noah Page. And he looks like he had some dramas there out of turn 4. Here comes Jordison. Jordison to the inside. Now Bob King throwing a slider on Jordison. They'll make contact. 3 wide out of turn number 2. And we've got 1 lap left to run for your race leader this time by out of turn number 4, and the rest of the field, they are all following in the footsteps of the Swindell Speed Lab number 1 machine. James Edens leads from Regan Tyler. Piskalik in 3rd. 4th, well, that's a battle between Bob King and Noah Page, but for the final time into turns 3 and 4. James Edens victorious. He's going to the main event, 2nd and 3rd. Regan Tyler grabs 2nd. Mitchell Piskalik will grab 3rd, just ahead of Noah Page in 4th. Rounding out your top 5 is Darren Law. Then we go back to Dale Jordison, Kyron Redpath, Bob King, and Jacob Dixon. I'll wait for the next heat to roll over, and we'll be able to bring heat race number 3 results up on screen just to make sure that there was no further or any post-race penalties that may have been handed out. So bring up those results right now for heat race number 3 as expected. Edens, Tyler, Piskalik, Page, Lord, Jordison, Redpath, King, and Dixon. Heat race number 4. Ricey, let's take a look at our Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
So heat race number 4 looks like this. Out of P, number 1 is the 077 of Vince Romeo. Out of 2, the 211 of Aaron Hatton. Out of 3, the 32 of Callan Arthur. Out of 4, the 97 of Caden Brown. Out of 5, the 041 of Brendan Palmer. Out of 6, the 73 of Stefan Tears. Out of 7, the 52 of Craig Sheeran. Out of 8, the 35 of Tyler Stradlow. And out of 9, the number 6 of Alan Solet. That's your heat race lineup for heat race number 4.
All right, halfway through heat racing action. This is heat number 4, so 3 heats completed out of the 6 allocated heat races. I shot above the racetrack in turns number 3 and 4. The racing.com post are going to do one more circuit. It'll move to the infield onto pit road. And then it'll be Vince Romeo and Aaron Hatton on the front row. Hope Brendan Palmer has had his rearios. I'll bet you 50 says he has, Ricey.
Yes, probably.
Let's just hope he doesn't hand out too many more right rearios. He's settled down from those early goings of what was the early goings of Season 1 of the Russian Racing, or the Midget Super League. Wasn't Russian Racing back then.
So the field a bit spaced out here in heat race number 4 as they're starting to bunch up as the pace car about to pull off the circuit here. Heat race 4 is green. Good start off the front row between the 2 front guys of Romeo and Hatton. Oh, it's getting bunchy out of turn number 2. Oh, there's one car in the fence further back. At the moment, Romeo's under siege at the moment. He's got Aaron Hatton to out in front, but that's actually Caden Brown. There we go. Caden Brown is in second at the moment. So, and Brett, Caden Brown is no stranger to midgets whatsoever. But at the moment, Craig Sheeran picks up that third and final transfer spot away from Romeo. Then Stefan Tiers on the outside with that car honking.
Yeah, go back a couple of weeks ago at, I believe, we're at Lernerville, where Caden Brown led for a good 25, 30 laps of the main event. And then, of course, just drove it off the edge of the banking. So knows how to get it done in the real world, knows how to get it done in the sim world as well. At the line, I believe that Aaron Hatton was your race leader. No yellows in heat racing action. There'll only be yellows if needed, and there'll be admin cautions throughout the 35-lap main event, so we should see a good portion of tonight's distance being run under the green flag condition. But a great battle right now between Aaron Hatton and Caden Brown. Hatton in the 211, the BSL car on the top side. Caden Brown, the TFH, number 0. Well, no, not the 0. He's just in the 97 machine. Sometimes he can run the 97, but Caden Brown going to lead that one 3 to run.
Aaron Hatton looked for a way around as he tried it again in turn 1 and 2, but Caden Brown shut the door. So this race certainly has its moments further back, but out in front it's been stellar with Hatton and Caden Brown duking it out. But as I start to pace out here, Brett, and remember folks, top 3, Sheeran still holds that third and final transfer spot as the white flag now on the speedway for Caden Brown coming into turn number 1 and 2 on that mid to high groove. Sheeran very high out of 2 there, but Caden Brown, Brett, he had an awesome drive, only a few rounds to go, and tonight he picks up a heat race win. So well done to our Heat 4 winner of Caden Brown. Second, Aaron Hatton, and Craig Sheeran third.
Yeah, the beauty about that is I've been able to sort of keep tabs on how far drivers have been able to advance. And I can tell you, Caden Brown only picked up 3 positions in that one. Craig Sheeran actually picked up 4. So again, off the passing points format as well to get into the pole shuffle. You might see drivers come from the back of the heat race and finish third, and you might see them later on in the pole shuffle. And again, as I said, it all comes back down to the passing points. Caden Brown, Aaron Hatton, Craig Sheeran. Your top 3, Callan Arthur in 4th, Stefan Tiers in 5th, Tyler Strilo in 6th, Alan Solet in 7th, Vince Romeo and Brendan Palmer credited with DNFs there in heat race number 4. Move forward, heat race number 5. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid, and David Harleman will start on the front row. On the outside of the front row, position number 2, that'll be Kobe Dent. Stuart Patterson will line up out of position number 3. Bailey Barnacote out of position number 4. Brady Baldwin going to start position 5. Damon Mush starting position number 6. Murray Howe going to start position number 7. Lockie Beattie out of position number 8. And James Halliburton will start position number 9 in heat race number 5.
So, Brett, let's name off some names here for heat race number 5. You got Harleman, Barnacote, Baldwin, Mush, and Beattie. Now, obviously, Brady Baldwin, no stranger to speedway. Even Harleman he's very fast in the Pro Series as well. So, a couple of fast guys in this one. You can't discount Patterson as well, Brett. I've been keeping an eye on him and his racing through this whole series, and he's been consistent, and that's all you got to be.
Yes, trying to make the 24-car field each and every week has certainly been a challenge for these drivers. We're filling up the servers every week. I think we were very close to filling up the server last week, very close to filling it up again. So, we're having the high 50s. Now, I'm hoping that the race, that David Harleman went on the green, and maybe Kobe Dent was in that 42 machine, just got an absolute Barry Crocker of a start, as he'll now put the slider. Kobe Dent in the black and blue number 42 machine. Still Patterson was licking his chops after that one, because he's already into second spot. Here comes Baldwin with a slide job now on Dent. Dent going to come back to the inside out of turn number 2. They'll make a little bit of contact. And don't count out Damon Mush. I seen him run the street stocks a couple of days ago, Rising and Terran. He's not a bad street stock peddler. Stuart Patterson. Oh, no. Oh, Patterson upside down. Dent around as well. And they're going to fall back to positions number 8 and 9.
Well, Patterson's car, Brett, it was absolutely sideways out of 4, and it just biked. So, bit unfortunate in that one. But, out in front, David Heilemann at the moment, running the bottom group, Brady Baldwin in second, but the action further back for third and final transfer spot is between Howe, Beatty, and Barnacote, as they make a 3-wide coming into and out of turn number 4. But Brett, Barnacote, so far, so good, as the slider looking from Beatty, and then Mush is in the mix as well.
Yeah, Mush is really starting to come into his own here right now. And just a young kid as well. I believe he's under the age of 17. So he actually ran in the Junior Stand Esports Australian title just a couple of nights ago, and then ran the PS Designer Homes $1,000 street stock to win race. So he had quite a busy night. And now again he's back here at the Midget Super League, as we see Beatty now putting a slider on Barnacote. Barnacote gives him a bit of a short back and sides as there goes Howe. And look at Mush now trying to capitalise on this 3, nearly 4 wide. It's 3 wide as there goes Damon Mush with not much room.
No, it was a thread in the needle situation. But Barnacote at the moment holding on to that third and final transfer spot, Brett, as the white flag is... Whoa! Wow!
That was Lockie Beatty. That was a big tumble in turns number 1 and 2. But checkered flag is out here in the 5th heat race of the night. David Heilemann wins. Brady Baldwin home in 2nd, and Bailey Barnacote going to grab the 3rd and final transfer position. We'll bring up those heat race number 5 results here in just a second. But Murray Howe unofficially coming home in 4th, 5th. Went to Damon Mush, James Halliburton, Lockie Beatty, Kobe Dent, and Stuart Patterson there. The 9 drivers to contest heat race number 5 as I'll bring up those 5th heat race results for you on screen. Heilemann, Baldwin, Barnacote. So no post-race penalties being handed out. Howe, Mush, Halliburton, Beatty, Dent, and Patterson. We move into the 6th and final heat race of the night. James Rice, let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
There we go. The grids are on the screen. Here, race number 6 looks like this. Out of P number 1, the 25 of Ashley Hammond. Out of 2, the number 2 of Travis Castagna. Out of 3, the 67 of Hayden Cardwell. Out of 4, the 74 of Jason Burke. Out of 5, the 95 of Kane Della. Scheduled out of P6 is the 36 of Harley Smee. Out of 7, the 29 of Joel Boutel. Out of 8, the 18 of Aaron Kelly. And running out the 9-car field is the 50 of Clayton Davies.
All right, heat race number 6 here. And tell you what, again, there are some pretty stout drivers in this one. Travis Castagna, Ashley Hammond, Hayden Cardwell in row 2. A last start feature winner here at the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. Aaron Kelly, I believe he picked up the win just a couple of weeks ago. Pretty sure it was at Lernerville. Clayton Davies, he's had a pretty good run this week alone. I believe he picked up a couple of feature wins last night in a couple of different other leagues. I think it was a wingless. Yeah, it was a wingless because I actually ran second to him in that wingless race, and then he won the winged sprint cars as well. So he's certainly got some momentum. No, disappointed to see Harley Smee not grid. Thought he was going to be one to watch coming from, I think it was that 4th row. So nonetheless, Ricey, 8 cars, 8 laps, top 3 to the main event, and this is our 6th and final heat of the night.
That is right, Brett. The final heat for tonight's Midget Super League, or Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. As Ashley Hammond and Travis Castagna lead the field down the back straightaway, the final time here, ready to take the green flag here at Volusia, the virtual Volusia. As also you've got Cardwell, he's the one to watch in this one, Brett. And we saw him do a magical thing at Knoxville probably 4 or 5 rounds ago. Here we go, green flag aloft here, heat race number 6. Whoa, number 2. That was Castagna. I don't know what happened there. Was some contact on the start. But Ash Hammond out in the lead at the moment. Then right behind him is Hayden Cardwell. He's stalking Ash Hammond. Oh, there is a big contact between the two front runners. And that's race control's issue there. But Joel Boutel in the Bunnings Warehouse car in second spot at the moment. Brett picks up some spots starting further back, and Jason Burke as well. Kevin turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, Jason Burke, his eyes must have lit up. He went from about 5th or 6th to the race lead and sort of just split the gap there in turns 3 and 4. But now Joel Boutel leads from Jason Burke. So a couple of JBs out in front. And, well, speaking of another JB, the Joel Berkeley Tinder number 9 machine being driven. That's the backup car driven by Hayden Cardwell. Sitting in position 3, Ashley Hammond 4th, and Clayton Davies rounds out your top 5. You would dare think that with 4.5 to run this time by down the back straightaway, that Hayden Cardwell will look to make quick work of these drivers out in front as you see him run on the bottom side through turns 3 and 4. Officially halfway home that time by 4 down, 4 to run.
Yeah, Cardwell using the bottom groove where most of the guys are running the top side at the moment. As you see Hayden Cardwell now going up into the slider line into turn 3 and 4, picks up P number 2. So at the moment is looking at Joel Boutel with the Bunnings Warehouse number 29. As they go side by side in turn 3 and 4, Cardwell picks up the race lead. And I think there's a little bit of contact from the inside wall, but Joe Boutel back on the inside, side by side. And Cardwell on the outside gets the job done, picks up P number 1.
Yeah, lap and a half to run for Hayden Cardwell as he makes his way into turns 3 and 4. Boutel looking to transfer along with Jason Burke, Clayton Davies, man. Oh, Cardwell up, nearly upside down, as that's going to give the race lead back to Joel Boutel. Davies, you could think, you know he can just smell a transfer position. I don't think it's going to happen as Cardwell cuts to the inside there on Burke into turns 3 and 4. Joel Boutel victorious. Here comes Davies. Man, that was close for 3rd and 4th. Can confirm unofficially Jason Burke home in 2nd, and unofficially home in 3rd is Hayden Cardwell. We bring up heat race number 6 results, and there was just a little over half a tenth between Cardwell and Clayton Davies for 3rd and 4th. Davies finishing 4th. Travis Castagna, after that lap 1 incident, he rallies home for a 5th place position. Aaron Kelly, it's amazing you can go from victory lane 1 week to finding yourself in the mid-pack of one of the B-mains. He comes home 6th. Ashley Hammond in 7th. Kane Della in 8th, and that was heat race number 6, Harley Smee. He did not grid there for heat number 6, but it shows as a D main on screen. We can confirm that this is B main number 1. So let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid. Bradley Oldfield will start on pole of B main number 1. Callan Arthur going to start out of position number 2. Ethan Cooper will start position 3. Stefan Tears will line up out of position 4. Jeremy Frid will round out your top 5. Tyler Strilo lines up out of position 6. Brandon Thomas out of position 7. Alan Solett out of position 8. 9th is going to be Lance Bainton. Vince Romeo out of position number 10. Position number 11 is Sean Rosa and Brendan Palmer to make up the 12 cars in B main number 1. And Ricey, I believe you've got to be inside the top 2 of this one, because if you're not, you can pack it up on the virtual hauler and get ready to watch the rest of the racing here live on Ultimate Dirt TV.
That is correct, Brett. Top 2. Some of the guys here in Oz go top 2. Oldfield looking for those. He's looking to keep his top 2 spot at the moment. It's probably nice. We don't normally see him in the B mains here in this series, but he's out. He's got the top spot in this B main number 1. So let's see what he can do off of pole. But Brett, take us away for B main number 1.
B main number 1, top 2 going through to start positions number 19 and 22. Green flag is out, 12 laps on the board as Oldfield enters down into turns 1 and 2. There's definitely contact. We got a car pirouetting and upside down Ethan Cooper, I think that may have been who may have just given Stefan Tears right rear to left front as here comes Callan Arthur back to the inside. Love to see Callan Arthur make the main event. I think he's a real talent in the midget stuff. It's a shame we don't see his tacky track teammate out here of Jared Steen too often. But here comes Cooper back to the inside on Arthur. But Arthur holding strong and firm right through the middle of the racetrack in 3 and 4.
So at the moment, the top two are nearly locked in as Callan Arthur pulls away from the other two drivers as Brendan Palmer. Oh, that's a big move going to turn 3 and 4. He's right on the tail tank of Callan Arthur. So as all the stuff going haywire in this B-main number 1, Brendan Palmer finds himself very, very close to clinching that top 2 spot, Brett.
Well, if he's going to want to if he wants to make the show as Tyler Strallo comes together with Ethan Cooper and Paul. Ethan Cooper has the last couple of laps he would rather forget about. But yeah, going back to the Brendan Palmer, if he wants to make the show, he is going to have to eliminate his teammate of Callan Arthur. So you can bet your bottom dollar that right now they're both in Discord together. And I'll bet you 50 says they are. And they'll be chatting away, just trying to find the best way possible, knowing that only one of them is going to make the show. And at this stage, it looks like it's going to be the 32 of Callan Arthur.
So, at the moment, Bradley Oldfield leading the field away in this B main. And they're starting to space out here. Brett to Callan Arthur still in second, and third, Brendan Palmer, then fourth, Tyler Stradlow as well. Back to Solit, and then Braden Thomas. Braden Thomas. But it's all going to be top at the moment, Brett. But by feature time, it's going to be slide job heaven around this Volusia Speedway Park.
Yeah, just taking a look on board the 51 of Bradley Oldfield. Just working that wheel. You can see Callan Arthur just behind him. He's only about half a straightaway behind him right now, and just one little slip up from Bradley Oldfield, and you know he is going to be under all sorts of pressure from Callan Arthur. But Oldfield, the way he's experiencing and the experience that he has shown here over the past year and a bit with the Midget Super League. He picked up the inaugural season's championship, but he also picked up the Midget Super League Speed Week Championship as well. And right now in this B main, could he be any more dominating?
Absolutely, like it's a massive margin at the moment. But as I said before, Brett, everyone's starting to space out here in this B main. But what would be going through the mind of Bradley Oldfield at the moment? Going through this last lap, Brett?
Nothing. Just hit your mark, don't hit the wall. It's as simple as that. And you know that he has got himself into the show, and now he gets to sit back. He gets to sit and watch the racetrack develop. Out of turn number 4, check and flag is out. Bradley Oldfield and Callan Arthur. Two drivers that will start positions number 19 and 22 in tonight's main event. Everybody else third on back. Well, bit of bragging rights for those drivers, but unfortunately, tell you what, Brendan Palmer, an absolute stellar of a drive, and he almost deserves 50 from his good old mate. But I tell you what, he moved up 9 positions, but falling just 1 spot shy of making the big dance. We'll bring up those B-main number 1 results. It'll show as D-main, but it is B-main number 1. Bradley Oldfield confirmed going to the main event along with Callan Arthur. Brendan Palmer in third. That's his night done, along with Alan Solit in fourth. Jeremy Fidd rounds out your top 5. Brandon Thomas in 6th. Ethan Cooper in 7th. Tyler Strallo in 8th. Lance Bainton in 9th. Stefan Tears and Sean Rosa in positions number 10 and 11. B-main number 2. Ricey coming onto the racetrack right now. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
So starting out of P number 1 is the 57 of Elliot Osborne. Out of 2, the 10 of Murray Howell. Out of 3, the 54 of Jock Goodyear. Out of 4, the 12 of Damon Mush. Out of 5, the 503 of Jason Crawford. Out of 6, the 14 of James Halderburton. Out of 7, the 17 of Callum Davidson. Out of 8, the 16 of Lucky Beatty. Out of 9, the 22 of Jack Cameron. Out of 10, the 42 of Kobe Dent. And out of 12, is the 197 of Stuart Patterson, and Tyler McQuilkin did not enter. So, Brett, that's B main number 2.
Yes, 11 cars, 12 laps on the board. Waylon Wilson, thank you for the 100 stars, and thank you for those kind words. So we appreciate all the support here on Ultimate Dirt TV, and we've also got, Ricey, sorry, I just seen your message. Sorry. I kind of left you in the lurch on that one. I wasn't paying attention to the messages. But look, I'll get the next one for you. But look, we're back on the iRacing portal. So big thanks to iRacing for allowing us to be back on the front page. And we hope to bring you sort of quality races throughout the week.
It's very good to see that as well, Brett, as showcasing some of the best midget racing in Oz. So here we go. Green flag aloft here. Osborne and Howe lead the field away as 2 of the BSL cars going to turn number 1, and then Goodyear picks up P2 4 wide coming out of turn number 2 now. Here we go. The race is on. Remember, folks, top 2 go through. So at the moment, Jock Goodyear, the 410 driver in real life from Tasmania, he picks up that second and final transfer. But right behind him is a wall of cars. Mush. Then you got Howell. Then you got Crawford, Beatty, and Davidson as well in the mix. So, Brett, all these drivers are hungry for that top 2 spot.
Yeah, and well, with these drivers all trying to contest with one another, they're actually allowing the top 2 drivers to get away. We've got contact. We've got Kobe Denoran. Stuart Patterson's gone back to pit road. There is Callum Davidson up on the inside. He will take away 4th position away from Jason Crawford. That is now his next target. Damon Mush in the number 12 machine. The JLR entry is Mush now around the outside of Davison. But Davison, he's found the grip on the bottom of the speedway in turn number 1 and 2. He'll look for the bottom in 3 and 4 once again. But tell you what, he's got about a second between himself and Jock Goodyear. But even then, Callum Davidson has got Damon Mush starting to put some pressure through turn number 1 and 2. We've seen Davison work the slider line through 1. What will he do into turn 3? Slider line once again into, through turns 3 and 4 as he's still over 1 second away from Jock Goodyear.
Yes, and Callum Davidson using that slider line, as you said before, Brett, as he now mixes up into turn 3 and 4. But still out in front is Elliot Osborne holding off Jock Goodyear. As it's probably I think it's a 1.4 second gap between them both. And then Davison, then Mush as well, then Howe, Burden, Crawford. So again, we'll start to see these guys space out a little bit more in this B-main number 2. But at the moment, Brett, you can go anywhere on this racetrack. You go top side, bottom, mid. It is very, very fast.
And we'll just take a couple of laps here on board with your race leader of Elliot Osborne and just see how slick the track is starting to get. You can see that big slick line developing, and then you're starting to see a cushion form in turns 3 and 4, but they've still got at least 2 car widths away from where the slick line ends and where the cushion is up on the top side of the racetrack. So look, still plenty of room to move before they get right up on the wall. That's getting quite big and quite gnarly, and well, it's just the Volusia cushion, Ricey. 2 to run for your race leader of Elliot Osborne.
Yes, it's funny you mentioned the cushion here, Volusia, and it has caught a lot of people out, and especially in turns 3 and 4, where the course rides right up towards the Huger Racing Tyre sign and the VB. It gets huge around here as the white flag is out for Elliot Osborne. He start off the front row, and he will come into turn 3 and 4 right now and pick up the B main number 2. So well done to Elliot Osborne. And second goes to Goodyear. So the rest from third onwards back will head back in the pit area, put the cars back in the haulers, and tune into Ultimate Dirt TV to see the remainder of this round here at Volusia.
Yes, B main number 2. The win goes to Elliot Osborne, Jock Goodyear in second. Third goes to Callum Davidson, Damon Mush. Home in position 4, Murray Howell. Rounding out your top 5 in B main number 2, James Halliburton in 6th, Jack Cameron in 7th. Lockie Beattie home in 8th, Jason Crawford a lap down in 9th, Kobe Dent, Stuart Patterson. Unfortunately, not getting any more than 2 laps done in B main number 2 as the third and final B main of the night as we go trackside. Take a look right now at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid. As Noah Page in the 042 going to start on pole. To his outside, that'll be Clayton Davies. Darren Lord and Travis Castagna will start positions number 3 and 4. Dale Jordison rolls off at a position 5. Aaron Kelly at a position number 6. Corin Redpath will start position 7. Ashley Hammond out of position number 8. Bob King out of position 9. And Kane Della rounding out your top 10. Then we go back to Jacob Dixon and Harley Smee. The 12 cars scheduled for this one, but I believe our pole sitter Noah Page did not grid, so that's going to move Darren Lord up to position number 1. And man, Waylon Wilson coming in with another 200 stars, and Leanne Burke as well coming in with 100 stars. So thank you very much. We appreciate the support, appreciate the stars as we get set for B main number 3, Ricey.
It's good to see people tuning in to Ultimate Dirt TV for this Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. So thank you all for tuning in on your Wednesday night. And here to see some good, fast, action-packed racing here at Ultimate Dirt TV. So Brett, Darren Lord, he's one of those guys that is consistent but isn't lucky. But Brett, take it away for the final B main.
B main number 3, the final 2 positions, position 21 and 24. Keep an eye on a certain pink and white Tinder number 9 machine to come from position number 10. They go 4 wide down through turns number 1 and 2. Castagna, he's going to crash out. He's at the back of the bus. His night is D-O-N-E. Oh, we got some contact at the back. Berkeley goes up on the inside, and Berkeley goes around the left front, catches the tyres there. But the barrel's there on the exit of turn number 4. And that could put a halt to the number 9's machine of going to the main event. Look at this, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th on screen as they are all fighting it out for the top 2 positions. Clayton Davies, your race leader.
One driver that I'm looking at right now is Kane Della. He's on that bottom side at the moment, trying to get around the second placer as my ends of the screen, Brett, going a bit haywire. But Dale Johnson still holding on after that move out of 4th. So, Brett, the race is on out in front.
Yeah, Kane Della just sitting back there in 3rd position, trying to maybe wait a little bit too patiently for one of these drivers to make the mistake as they continue to race side by side. Clayton Davies had it at the start-finish line. Davies works low. Man, if the track is like this for the pole shuffle race, we might be in for possibly the 7 best pole shuffle races of the night. Davies now continues to work to the bottom side. Again, they've got to be careful of those tyres there on the exit of turn 4. It's already caught a number of people out, like with the likes of Berkeley. As here comes Della run on the top side through 1 and 2. We are halfway home this time by 6 down and 6 to run.
So at the moment, the bottom side still holding some juice in there at the moment. Clayton Davies using that line very, very well. Top 2 folks, remember. So Davies and Jordanson. But Jordanson has company on the outside. Kane Della riding that cushion. And he's looking to the way the outside of Jordanson. Oh my God, what a move. Can he stick it though in turn 2? And no. Jordanson came back with the slider, but Kane Della looking for a slide line back into turn 3 and 4. But wow, Brett, what a move from Kane Della.
Man, if Jordanson's eyes didn't light up then, you know he's going to get up on the wheel and try and put the move back to Kane Della. But Della was good on the top side through 1 and 2. He'll ride the cushion into turn number 3. Here comes a big slide job once again. He parks it in front of the 95, and that will unsettle the 95 of Kane Della as Della moves back to the inside. He'll go the slider. Jordison trying to keep it locked down on the bottom side, but just lost a whole lot of ground. But he will make it back up down the back straightaway. Once again, big slide job down into turns 3 and 4. 2 laps left to run for your race leader of Clayton Davies. And the battle between Kane Diller and Dale Jordison. It is hot right now as Jordison catches the inside wall, does a 360 and keeps it going. But Kane Diller, he must be breathing a big sigh of relief right now.
Absolutely, Brett. That would certainly calm the nerves somewhat. But coming into the final lap right now, Clayton Davies still out in front by a good, probably a 1 point, nearly 2 seconds. But he's coming to turn number 4. Clayton Davies picks up 1 spot going to the A main final. And as my screen goes a bit scared with, Kane Diller picks up the other. So, Brett, I think we're in for a treat here very soon.
Oh my, you know we are in for a massive treat. We'll bring up those third B main results coming up on screen. The 2 drivers, Kane Diller, Clayton Davies and Kane Diller finishing first and second. Dale Jordison must be absolutely kicking himself right now. Darren Lord in 4th. Ashley Hammond rounds out the top 5. Kara Redpath 6th. Bob King 7th. And how about this for championship standings? Joel Berkeley in 8th, not making the show. Neither Aaron Kelly in 9th. Jacob Dixon 10th. Travis Castagna 11th. And that was the 11 drivers to contest the third B main of the night. We've got the warm-up session right now. And Ricey, you know what warm-up session means for the people that are just joining us here for the first time. It means we go pole shuffle racing to determine the first 8 positions here tonight.
That is right. As we'll see Sheeran and Heilemann in this very first of a pole shuffle. So Australia versus America in this one. As race control ready to bring down the green flag. So one more roll around lap here, Brett.
Yeah, I don't think race control was too happy with the way that those drivers were coming out of turn before. They need to hit the line, or hit the virtual line, together. Race control giving out the green flag in the warm-up session. So Craig Sherham, who is on the outside, he starts alongside David Heilemann on the inside as the green flag from race control is out, and we're underway for 2 laps. Here at the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League pole shuffle. Heilemann good on the bottom side. Sherham. It's been a while since some of these drivers may have hit the racetrack. There's been 3B mains as Sherham gets the cushion. Whoa, that's a massive ride. Oh man, thankfully it was a virtual ride because Craig Sherham just took an absolute huge wreck in 3 and 4.
That was huge. Absolutely huge from Craig Sherham.
That is worthy of a wicked cushion instant replay. And that is worthy, I tell you what, of, you want to get this one close, because let's take a look at how close and how easy it is just to make the mistake, Ricey. So, Craig Sherham on screen in that tanked number 52 machine. And I'll bet you 50 that he might, if that was a real ride, he would have been very, very sore. Look, caught the cushion. There's the big cushion there, and it just bikes in, it hooks in. And there was no saving that one whatsoever. That's 2, 3, 4, and he has no intention of slowing down whatsoever. 5, that pole there somewhat saved him because he might have actually gone out of the ballpark on that one.
Well, nearly did anyway, but back in the action here with the next pole shuffle. So it's between Heilemann and Brady Baldwin. So we're coming into the last lap right now as Brady Baldwin leading away from David Heilemann. Heilemann looking for a way on the outside, and he gets that car hooking on the top side. What can he do? Can he get past Brady Baldwin, coming in 3 and 4, goes to the top side where the big push, where Sheeran was only a couple laps ago. Baldwin and Heilemann. Baldwin will pick up that one. So well done to Brady Baldwin. And the next driver out on the speedway I believe,
Well, I can tell you right now which James
is
Edens.
Edens. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you go from defeating the iRacing USAC non-wing world champion to beating probably one of iRacing's most consistent drivers on dirt. He is always near the front, and if he isn't, well, it means he got caught up in somebody else's stuff, and he just, you don't often see it. You barely see him make the mistakes. But James Edens taking on Brady Baldwin. Loser will start position number 6 as the green flag is out. And Baldwin got an absolute stellar of a start, but guaranteed you watch Edens just roll the bottom all the way around this half a mile of a D-shaped racetrack. Edens for Swindell's Speed Lab. The name speaks for itself. In fact, he'll run the slider line into turns 3 and 4. Baldwin trying to come back after him. Couple of car lengths away as they go down into turn number 1 and 2. Edens, Baldwin, they stay low together. Baldwin misses the grip down on the exit of turn number 2, and that will be his opportunity gone begging. James Edens looking for a win in the pole shuffle. He's officially undefeated in pole shuffle races, right? So he is officially 1 from 1. But have a go at his next opponent. Out rolls the United Sim Sports number 11 machine of Harry Stewart.
Now, Harry Stewart will have lane choice in this one as he pulls up alongside James Edens, and he's elected the inside. So, let's see what the young Aussie can do against the American on the outside. Very early green in that one, but Harry Stewart gets a good run into turn number 1. Then you got James Edens on the outside. He doms off the corner, and he picks up all that momentum to get right close to Harry Stewart at the moment. So coming to 3 and 4, both use the slide line. Harry probably thinking of the next move as white flag is out for both drivers as Harry Stewart still on the inside. James Edens on the top side is gathering all that momentum, Brett. It's closer and closer in this one. Harry Stewart and Edens. Edens goes straight to the bottom. Harry Stewart on the top side. Will it be Edens? Will it be Stewart? Harry, Stewart, and Edens. Oh, that was very close. And Harry Stewart picks off the American.
I don't think we've gone through a pole shuffle where the results have stayed the same to what they were started in. And Benny Bishop sort of alluded to in World Series when they do the gold, silver, and bronze shootout. You rarely get the same starting positions as the same finishing positions as what they started in. But have a look, man. Caden Brown on the racetrack. Wouldn't it have been just an absolute belter of a battle between Edens and Brown? But I mean, we're going to get just as good between Stewart and Brown. Green flag is out. Loser will start position number 4 in tonight's main event. Brown on the bottom side of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. He'll drift up to the slick. That'll allow Stewart to get a run on the outside, side by side as Brown has the momentum down into turns 3. Oh, Stewart! Oh, he's taken a Craig Shearer and done it. He's copycatted him. And that was massive. That was bigger than Craig Shearer. Let's take a look at the wicked cushion instant replay. Man, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, devastating. Devastating. Caden Brown just going to finish those couple of laps that he is required to do. And racing, you would think that Caden Brown with the next 2 opponents, no disrespect to these 2 drivers, but he has certainly got the experience that these drivers have. Graham Smith on the racetrack.
Well, let's hope Harry Stewart is okay after that one. And that was a massive tumble. So that's 2 cars out of the pole shuffle. But these 2 drivers, Caden Brown and Graham Smith, lead the way in this next pole shuffle. Side by side, very good start between them both. There's Smith getting a bit loose out of turn number 1, but still gets that momentum off the bottom. Side by side once again. This is good close racing, Brett. This is what we want to see. This is awesome racing. But at the moment, Caden Brown picks off Smith and uses that bottom side once again, and Smith gets a bit loose out of 2. So I can safely say, in just a few seconds' time, Caden Brown will pick off Graham Smith. So that will bring Joel Boutel in the mix to face Caden Brown.
Yeah, that was actually for a front row start. So Graham Smith going to start position number 3. And the winner of this next race between Caden Brown and Joel Boutel, they will start on pole. Peter Barry, thank you very much for that follow and for becoming a supporter here of Ultimate Dirt TV. We appreciate that very, very much. But looking forward to this one. Your winner will start on pole for tonight's 35-lap main event, of course, after this race. The drivers will have a couple of minutes. We'll take a quick break, but more on that in just a second. This is for the front row. Positions 1 and 2 is how they start, is how they finish this one. As Brown work on the top side. You look at the left front, just pick up in the air as Patel now in that Bunnings warehouse. Working low through turns 3 and 4, but it is all Caden Brown. I want to say right the check, but after what we've seen a couple of weeks ago with him riding off the edge of the racetrack at Lernerville, you can never be too sure. Brown down the back straight away for the final time. Into turns 3 and 4. Caden Brown will start on pole. Joel Battelle going to start position number 2. Graham Smith, position 3. Harry Stewart, position 4. James Edens, position 5. 6 is Brady Baldwin. David Harleman, 7th. And 8th was Craig Sheeran. We'll take this opportunity right now to step aside here on Ultimate TV. Come back in just a few moments' time. The 35-lap main event here of the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. Round number 12, your main event on the other side of this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ultimate Dirt TV's coverage of the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League round number 12 here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park. Brett Wheeler joined alongside James Rice and Ricey. We've had 6 heat races completed. We have had 3 B mains completed. We've had our pole shuffle completed. And we have our 24 drivers set for 35 laps on the board.
Yes, and it's going to be some good fast action here with this field jam-packed with very, very fast drivers from Australia and the USA, and you can't forget the Kiwis across the pond.
Or across the Dutch.
And here shortly, folks, Brett will go through the heat race lineup, the feature lineup for this one, but there is some reshuffling to do.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now the way they line up, and we'll go from the back to the front. Starting position number 24, Kane Della. On his inside, position number 23, that'll be Jock Goodjar. Position number 22 of Callan Arthur and Clayton Davies going to start position number 21. Starting position number 20 is going to be Elliot Osborne and Bradley Oldfield at a position number 19. Joshua Barry lines up at a position 18. Hayden Caldwell starts position 17. Bailey Barnacote will start position number 16. Mitchell Piskalik at a position 15. Position 14 of Regan Tyler. Position 13 of James Robbie. Position number 12 of Aaron Hatton. Carl Hoffman's at a position number 11. We go to the first 5 rows. Position number 10 of JD Brown and Jason Burke lining up at a position number 9. Craig Sherm will start position number 8. David Hardeman will start position 7. 6 is going to be Brady Baldwin. James Eden's at a position number 5. Harry Stewart at a position 4. Graham Smith at a position 3. Joel Battelle starts position number 2. And Caden Brown will start on pole for tonight's 35-lap main event. And if you're just joining us here for the first time, welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV and welcome to the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. The pace truck is going to move to the infield. We are not going green. We are going to reshuffle the starting order from what's heat racing from those heat races to get the drivers into their correct positions. They have 2 laps, so they have a lap to get it done, because once we get to lap 2 of 37, we will start this 35-lap journey here. And well, Ricey, I'm going to ask you for a prediction. Who's going to victory lane here at Volusia?
Well, this driver is way back in the field. Hayden Cardwell. He's my pick.
Well, you're going an American. I'll go one as well. As much as I want to pick Caden Brown on the front row, I think James Edens is going to run him down from position number 5. As there we go, lap 2 of 37, which means once we complete this one, there's what is essentially a 35 laps left in this one. So we are green flag this time by out of turn number 4. The field is set, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 12 of the Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League. 30 rounds a season long. We are not even halfway home in the season, and we've seen some fantastic racing. It's time to drop the hammer here on the green flag. The green flag is out. 35 on the board. There's no surprise to see Caden Brown stay to the low side of the racetrack. Stewart on the outside. Oh, Brady Baldwin. Now here comes Baldwin through the middle on the outside of James Edens. Edens works low through turn number 3 and 4. I think Caden Brown may have just had a little contact with turns 3 and 4 wall on the inside. And look at Edens go straight up to second. Yellow flag is out. And well, one thing we didn't sort of touch on, Ricey, we thought we was going to have admin-controlled cautions. Caution's going to be controlled by iRacing, but caution laps will not count here tonight as... Oh, James Robbie. Take a look at the Wicked Cushion instant replay coming up on screen.
All 3 wide. Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, I guess my pick, but that's Robbie did a Berkeley. What Berkeley did early in the night, anyway. But Brett, I could just sense that this A main is going to offer some awesome racing with Kane Brown out in front. Then you've got Baldwin in at third at the moment. Then you've got Edens in the mix. Then Stewart. And then JD Brown making his way through the field. And then Heileman as well. So some big names making their way through at the moment.
Yeah, well, there's still plenty of laps to go, considering that technically we are only 2 laps into the 35-lap main event, so we're still looking at 33 to run. Lights will go out on the iRacing.com pace truck this time by, as the field is set. Single file. It looks like we're going double file. Restart. Oh, geez, some issues there for the 7 of Brady Baldwin. Looks as though those issues may have just settled down right now. I'm looking forward to seeing what Harry Stewart can do, especially with the likes of James Edens, Caden Brown. We all know Stewart's pretty quick and pretty competitive in a midget here on the iRacing.com platform. So he restarts position number 5, but here we go. The field is in the hands of Caden Brown. Once the pace truck is in, once it's hit pit road, it's all yours to start. Caden Brown, he stamps his right foot on the gas pedal, and we are back underway as Baldwin now putting a slide job there on Graham Smith, and here comes Edens and Stewart. They'll go either side of Graham Smith down into turn number 3 and 4. Smith sliding up on Edens. Edens turns it back down to the middle of the racetrack. JD Brown is right there with him, so a couple of Americans nearly up inside of the top 5.
Yeah, and at the moment, Brett, his action basically from after Baldwin, there is Edens on the top side at the moment of Harry Stewart. JD Brown right behind Stewart. Then you've got David Heileman in the mix as well. So, and then Smith is making his way through. So Brett is, I said it earlier, this race is going to produce some awesome racing. And at the moment, James Edens looking his way through. Same with Harry Stewart to get into that second spot away from Brady Baldwin. But at the moment, it is all Caden Brown out in front.
Yeah, Caden Brown, he was always going to be tough to beat, but the longer this race goes on, the more times, or the longer it'll sort of favour James Edens. He's sort of just starting to get his head around the midgets again. He's just starting to work out how to run it on the cushion. As I said, he's very, very experienced here on the iRacing.com service. He's been around for plenty and plenty of years, so the sim racing experience that James Edens has is second to none. But the real life experience that Caden Brown has got, well, at the age of, 16 or 17, he became an Australian champion in his first season of speed car, midget car action. Right now, Stewart Brown, they're side by side for positions 4 and 5.
Yes, and Stewart now has made his lane change to the top side. So he's going to follow the way through of James Edens as the yellow flag is out on the speedway. Just trying to find the contact, possibly, and I can't see anybody, Brett.
And we'll take a look at the Wicked Cushion Instant Replay. Graham Smith it was in the 24 machines. He got on by Oldfield. It was Aaron Hatton, in fact, who got into, I believe that was Joel Battelle in that Bunnings entry. And just sort of happened in front of Smith here. And Hatton, Smith goes around. Smith nearly goes, in fact, upside down. Joel Battelle around him. He got hit from every which way possible. That is the reason for the yellow flag here tonight. Second time we've seen the yellow flag come out here in tonight's main event. And we are looking at 10, technically shows 10 on the ticker, but don't forget those first couple of laps we used to get the drivers formed into their correct position. So we're still looking at 27 to go. Right here now with a clear track. We are looking at a couple of superstars on this front row.
You've got that right, Brett. Caden Brown and James Edens. Then right behind them, of our pole sitter, Brady Baldwin and Harry Stewart. JD Brown, David Heileman, Craig Sheeran, Graham Smith, Bradley Oldfield, and Mitchell Piskalik. So Oldfield driving from probably basically nearly from the back of the butts, 19th to P number 10. Sorry, correction, number 9. So here we go. Green flag is aloft here at Volusia once again to restart their same main. And we are green here. Good start from Caden Brown, our pole sitter. James Edens, then Harry Stewart on the top side, looking for around Brady Baldwin, and they do so just as Baldwin still on the bottom side. There's still some juice down there at the moment, folks. Edens getting a bit out of touch there. Big wreck there. Contact. James Edens, and I think that might have been Harry Stewart as well. So that's gonna put the fork in the road at the moment, as we're looking at the Wicked Cushion instant replay on screen at the moment to see what actually happened. So it looks like Edens gets a little love tap from the wall.
Gets the Volusia cushion is what he got, and it just sent that. Look at how hard that snapped that rear ended. Unfortunately, Stewart nowhere to go on that exchange, and you see the contact that was made between Stewart and Edens. Yeah, you really do hate to see it, because now Edens, if he is still circulating on the speedway, which I do believe he is at this stage, he is going to have to come from the back of the bus. In fact, he's actually upside down, so he's going to have to call the virtual hook, which means he'll be on pit road for 1:50, and well, even then, once you're back on pit road, Ricey, that is done. You are not allowed to come back out. So unfortunately, we're seeing the last of James Edens for tonight. Hopefully he comes back next week, but doesn't that just shake up the top 5 positions right now?
So at the moment, Caden Brown still holding that race lead. Brady Baldwin finds himself in P number 2 on the outside of our pole sitter as we're on board. And I think that's with Caden Brown. And look at that view right there, folks, with that Brady Baldwin car number 7 on his outside. That's a mean shot. All brought to you by Ultimate Dirt TV. As I believe the green flag is about to go waving here. And it does. Baldwin. I think he got caught napping off that start. That will bring Harry Stewart into the mix now as they go side by side. The race is on now. Harry Stewart picks up P number 2. But then Heileman on the inside as well. So from that start, Baldwin has slipped back possibly 2-3 spots in that one. But at the moment, there is action everywhere. And Oldfield in the mix. Then you got Goodyear. Then you got JD Brown. Brady Baldwin as well as, a little bit of contact there, Brett. But look at this. 5 wide up a 4.
What in the world are we witnessing here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park? Oldfield, Goodyear. In fact, it's not Oldfield and Goodyear. I believe that might be Baldwin. It is in the 56 machine. The 7 entry. He has been shuffled back nearly outside of a top 10 positions as he just drives right back through the 24. I believe that is... Let's try to look at my timing and scoring here. Graham Smith, that is, but continue to go back up and watch Goodyear and Oldfield up to 4th and 5th. Sheeran now up on the inside of JD Brown. Piskalik upstairs. 3 wide as Oldfield, Smith and Baldwin. Well, this all stemmed from a couple of laps ago, and no doubt tempers are starting to flare here at the virtual Volusia Speedway Park.
Absolutely, Brett. It is getting hot on the racetrack. So I'm not quite sure what the yellow was really for.
Smith and Baldwin, I believe. Their issues over the past couple of laps. Unfortunately, That should be. In fact, they might still be on the racetrack, you know. Yeah, they are. But they are back there in position, what I believe is going to be 20th and 21st position. Once the timing and scoring screen updates here. Yep, 20 and 21st. Kane Della out as well.
So, folks, so far, it's been an entertaining race for sure. 5 wide, Brett. Could you imagine 5 wide at any racetrack? Anywhere? Like, it's just 5 cars into one corner, or coming out of a corner, doesn't mix sometimes, and they, I don't know, these guys made sure it actually worked, so good job to pull it off, boys. As the cars roll around once again here.
I've seen 5 wide at Eldora in late models. Would you believe this or not? I have seen 6 wide, I kid you not, 6 wide in late models at Limaland and not Wreck.
No. Limaland, really?
Limaland, gospel truth, 100%. I actually broadcasted the race.
Wow.
And that was a race that went green to checker for 60 laps.
That just goes to show the caliber of drivers. Here we go. Green flag off once again here at Volusia. The yellow flag back out again. So
Clayton Davis, I think, just got hit after the yellow come out too.
And I think it might have been Elliott as well, Osborne. So, yep. He's been relegated to rear outfield. And we're going to look at the wicker cushion instant replay. See what actually happened. So here we go on that race start. Oh, that tyre once again.
Tyre, how many people has it caught already, Ricey?
That's number 3 now.
It is brutal. Yeah, just look at the flagman already waving the green. He'll get his yellow flag quickly back out and he'll change. But man, that was.
There it is.
Tell you what, he's got a strong right arm, this flagman. I'll give him the hot tip on that one.
He must be all muscled up, that's for sure.
Yeah, he isn't worried about any social distancing. All he has to do is just worry about waving that right flag, and I guarantee that's all he's done over the past couple of months of this COVID stuff. But the restrictions starting to get lifted, so hopefully, Ricey, we're going to see some sort of real racing in a couple of months' time.
Yes, absolutely, and obviously racing clubs here in Australia and that are still up in the air of what's going to happen. And I know from my local speedway that I'm a part of, Borderline Speedway in Mount Gambier, we're still up in the air with our starting dates at the moment, but we've got dates locked in, but we just got to wait for all the restrictions. So hopefully here very, very soon we'll get back to some sort of normalcy. But on the racetrack, we're getting back to green flag action here with Caden Brown still out in front here, as on the outside, the young gun, Harry Stewart, looking to pip him at the post. What can these two do off the front row? Here we go, green flag again, as Caden Brown gets an awesome start. Goes to the bottom side, David Heileman in second on that middle groove, then Harry Stewart, then Oldfield. Oldfield, Brett, has moved up from 19 to 4.
Good, yeah, from 23rd to 5th. So there is a couple of hard charges in this field. The battle is on first, second, and third, and then there's a battle 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. James Robbie, he snuck inside of the top 10 as well, but here comes Stewart around the outside on Caden Brown for the race lead. Brown slides up, Stewart crossover through the middle, Holloman on the inside, nearly 3 wide as they came off turn number 4. That time by, we are looking at around 18 and 19 to go.
As the lead change is nearly happening here, Caden Brown goes for a slider line on Harry Stewart to protect that line. But then he's got to remember David Heileman is right behind Harry Stewart. Then you've got John Goodyear, Oldfield, JD Brown. The action is aplenty here at Volusia. And Caden Brown still holding on. He doesn't want a repeat of what happened at Lernerville only a short few weeks ago, where he was out in front and went over the berm. So he'll be looking for some sort of redemption here as he goes back to the top side, but Harry Stewart still holding on as yellow flag is out here once again, as there's Jason Burke, Barney Barnacle, and Elliot Osborne once again.
Man, I tell you what, just watching Jock Goodyear those last 3 or 4 laps, he was absolutely pounding the cushion all the way around this half a mile. And talk about trying to go the shortest route possible. He had done the absolute complete opposite. He was going the longest way around. I tell you, he was really starting to gather up some speed. And if we could take a look here at the dashboard, we'll just see if we can bring up some of the lap times for Goodyear. 19.2 compared to, well, 19.3 for Oldfield, and you just see that Goodyear, he has been, some half a tenth to 2 tenths quicker than Bradley Oldfield. We can take a look at sort of Heilemann and Goodyear. This will give us an indication again, as Goodyear, those last 3 laps prior to that yellow, look at how quick Goodyear's been. You've got nearly 2 half a tenths, so there's nearly a tenth of a second, and then you've got 3 tenths of a second. So you look at that, that's nearly half a second in 3 laps.
And that's massive, Brett, on the whole scheme of things as well. Like, that there just shows that persistence will prevail in the end, and Goodyear finding something on that top side where we've had 3 cars take huge tumbles off of that big cushion as we go on board with Bradley Oldfield. He, once again, Brett, one driver, if something goes wrong in a heat race, he's determined to get back up there, and he's made it up there, that's for sure, here tonight.
Yeah, well, he knows 35 laps is a long way around Volusia. He's just got to get through those first sort of 15, 20 laps, and hopefully that he'll be able to see a yellow late in the race where he's going to be able to challenge. But looking at what is now 19 complete, 16 laps left to run here in the main event. Caden Brown, Harry Stewart, David Heilemann, your top 3, Jock Goodyear, Bradley Oldfield, JD Brown. That's 4th, 5th, and 6th as we watch Stewart in the Valvoline United Sim Sports number 11 gets a slide job from the Wicked Energy Gun 49 of David Heilemann. Stewart, he went across underneath him and nearly took the front end out of Jock Goodyear, but here comes Stewart with his own slide job into turn number 1 and 2, yellow. Oh boy, come on. It was getting juicy up front again.
Well, I'm not sure exactly who that was, but Tyler is look at the Wicked Cushion instant replay here on stream. Brought you here live by Ultimate Dirt TV as he grabs the wall and a massive tumble in turn number 1. And the wall on the front straightaway, Brett, here at Volusia, Brett, it's very unforgiving, especially in these type of cars as well, because obviously I've got more experience with sprint cars here than midgets, but same thing happens. There's a bit of a cushion building on the front straightaway, and the car reacts so differently each lap, and if you hit it wrong, that's exactly what happens. It just rides up the wall, and off she goes, and that's all she wrote. Look at this in-car shot right now, folks.
Yeah, he got the wall twice, and then the catch fence actually did its job, and then actually sort of propelled him back onto the racing line. Thankfully, our Black Diamond Motorsports onboard camera angles, man, I tell you what, those cameras they are very, very tough and strong. No matter how hard you actually go for a lick, it's pleasing to see that we still have our onboard shots.
So what is Caden Brown thinking right now? I know exactly what he's thinking. He's like, "Come on, boys, let's get going," because this race is getting real juicy, Brett. As you saw before, you had like the top 5 were literally very close to each other, and you can't discount JD Brown, Mitchell Pisklik, and Oldfield, Goodyear, Stewart, Heilemann, and then obviously Caden Brown once again. So green flag again here, folks. With, I think we're approaching nearly 13, 14 laps to go here. As the green flag again, 14 laps to go. Here we go. Caden Brown leads the field again into turn number 1. David Heileman. Then Oldfield gets a spot on Goodyear. Harry Shield on the top side of Oldfield. 2 of the United guys going into turn 3 and 4. Oldfield slips up to the top side. Goodyear back on the bottom. But Brett, this is getting juicy right now. Look at this. Nearly 3 wide coming out of 2.
Yeah, JD Brown very good on the bottom side as he now just falls back outside of a top 5. And man, oh man, another yellow. Man, with the amount of cautions that we're seeing, surely it's about these cars that are continually causing these cautions. It is unfortunate because this race up front, you just know that it is going to be juicy if we can get these final, what is now going to be 12 laps in the 12 laps left to run. We are, so close away from that 35 lap main event to be completed. Just as these guys start to get into a rhythm, the yellow flag comes out, and then they've got to do it all over again. In fact, we'll see if we can bring in a couple of drivers. We're going to bring in a driver that is sitting, and now I get it. I get worried every time we do this because I don't like to move people. But we'll get an in race report here from the driver sitting in 7th position, James Robbie. I know you got your headset on, buddy. How you feeling at the moment?
Pretty lucky, to be honest, considering my balls up at the start to come back through. I'm pretty happy to be up here.
What's the game plan over these next 12 laps?
Just try a run where whoever's in front of me isn't. They've found a couple of different lines, and car feels good at the moment, so try and keep it straight. And
I think you're going back green flag this time, by, so we'll let you. We'll move you back into your channel, and we'll let you get concentrated on these next 12 laps, buddy.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
All right, there we go. James Robbie, the driver of the Rush Sim Racing number 41 machine. We're going to close up with that shot. There he is right there, just sitting in 7th position. As I said, he had a bit of a balls up moment in those opening couple of laps. He's managed to find his way back to position 7. And, well, we know him as the gunner at Ricey. This track is, well, I mean, it looks like it's got a top and a bottom. It looks like the bottom side might just be starting to go away with how thin it is, especially coming off the exit of turn number 4. We'll see how the drivers take to the racetrack once again. 12 to run this time behind the turn number 1 and 2. Brown, Heileman, Stewart, Goodyear, and Oldfield. And Brown, your top 6.
As Goodyear throws a slider on Harris Stewart. Stewart saying no. Now it's going to be basically 2 wide of a 4 between the 2 team cars of Oldfield and Stewart. So Jock Goodyear pips away a spot from Harris Stewart. So that puts Goodyear into the podium position of P3. But Heileman slowly and surely approaching our race leader at the moment. As we're on screen at the moment between Goodyear and Harry Stewart once again. As these 2 guys duking it out. But Heileman, Brett, he is closing on our race leader right now. What can Heileman do with these less than probably nearly 10 laps to go?
Well, you know that Heileman is as very experienced as they come here on iRacing. Again, he's another one of these drivers we continue to talk about. And the reason why that he is one of the best in the sim. And again, he is another driver that can just park his backside and anything. And one way or another, he is going to the front of the field. He has got 8 circuits remaining, and that is a heat race distance. And Caden Brown has got to be thinking about deja vu. He does not want a repeat of what happened a couple of weeks ago at Lernerville, although this time he can't run off the racetrack. However, he's got a couple of walls to contend with. The yellow flag is out just as we come to start lap what is technically 31 or 29 of the 37 on the board. We all know this is a 35 lap main event. Waylon dropping another 200 stars. Man, he's just dropping stars left, right, and centre. Thank you, Waylon.
I reckon some of these guys will be just wanting some green flag laps now. As the mindsets are starting to play. Do we have enough fuel what we're doing at the moment on the racetrack with a racing line. Is it the correct one? All those things going through the mind of a driver. And it's not easy to set up a midget in any aspect. It's obviously you've got your spring rates and obviously staggers and that, but gearing is probably one of the major things to try and get you through a night, Brett. And if you mess up a gearing, especially in an A-main event where it's slick, it really hurts you bad.
Oh, absolutely it does. Again, these drivers, they've got a couple of things to contend with on the racetrack. Of course, that big cushion developing all the way around the turns in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You've got the cushion on the entry into 1. Right in the center of 3 and 4. Right, I believe it's right where the Dryden sign is in 3 and 4. Just watch that cushion as it sort of goes up the wall. Now, Ricey, we obviously know where it is because we've seen it. We've seen it sort of build up here a number of times. Each and every time we sort of come here in the midgets or sprint cars or late models. We're just sort of pointing out to the folks. Just watch this Dryden sign. Look at the cushion where it starts just there. Look at how big that is. It covers the fence. Like, it is just unbelievable. Green flag is back out once again. 7 laps remaining for Caden Brown. Can he hang on for a Rush Sim Racing Midget Super League win? Or is it going to be taken away from David Hardeman, even Jock Goodyear? That's your podium at the moment, Ricey.
Yes, and Heilemann will be looking for a way around Caden Brown. As Goodyear as well will start to approach as Heilemann look for a move on Caden Brown. Caden Brown goes to the outside. Heilemann back on the inside. Goodyear is right on that top side and a yellow once again. And Joe Boutel looks like, same with Carl Hoffmans.
Yeah, so the problem here is that now, this is the thing that can get frustrating because David Harlan actually passed Caden Brown just as the yellow flag came out. Now, previously, when the do not count caution laps was sort of in place, where we just sort of went off who was in front at the time of a caution, normally that would have put David Harleman in front. But because we don't count caution laps, it actually goes back to the last recorded lap. Well, Caden Brown was well clear of David Harleman, so Brown got to be thinking his lucky stars on that one. And David Harleman's got to be thinking, well, what do I got to do to get by? Because you don't have too many more opportunities left in this one. But I'll tell you who was coming as well, Jock Goodyear. Look at him just playing with that cushion upstairs in turns 1 and 2. Actually, we're going to go on board with Jock right now and just get a feel of what he's doing on the racetrack just as he's rolling around. I'd love to get into that helm and just get his thoughts on what is going on right now, what he's thinking of the racetrack. Here's the cushion again, right where the NOS injury. There, just there where Harleman hit. Look at it. You can barely see the fence. You can barely see the fence and then back down, and then it's flat.
That's literally these type of cars, Brett, and that cushion just doesn't mix with any type of car, especially that high as well. Like, it just gets massive. So, very, very short run here. So I believe we've got 6 to go. 5 to go, yep. So, Caden Brown, can he hang on for another 5 laps? Or will we see David Heileman go past? Here we go. Back to green flag action as Caden Brown gets a good jump. Coming to turn number 1, then you've got Heileman go to the top side. Harry Stewart down the bottom side out of 2. So he loses a spot to Jock Goodyear. And nearly actually grabbed that as well. As the field's starting to spread out just a little bit. But, we're getting tight here. Here, Jock Goodyear under siege from Harry Stewart. Then you got Oldfield as well, Brett. And then a big slider from Bradley Oldfield nearly gets the job done.
Yeah, well, Stewart and Goodyear both turned it underneath Oldfield. So Oldfield just throwing caution to the wind right now. Harleman upside down in turns 3 and 4. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. David Harleman brings out the caution. And man, he went for a big, big ride. And We've seen it all too many times here at Volusia on the cushion. We take a look at your Wicked Cushion instant replay and see where it all goes wrong. I believe. Oh, let's not fast forward. I actually wanted to slow that one down.
Slow motion.
Yeah, slow mo coming up as look at him. The right rear nearly catching the cushion. He nearly drives away from the cushion. Look at the front end. Look at just catching the cushion and just stayed in the gas. Catch fence didn't want to do its job. And, jeez, look at the sparks coming off. That's going to make for a good shot later on. Oh, Pescalik got him as well. That was definitely all 10 pins down there for David Holland. I think he actually just alt there forward after that one. So,
yes, he did. It's probably one of the safest things you can do. A lot of people do that, but that puts a hungry Jock Goodyear in P number 2. I think, Brett, you said 22? He started his starting position?
23.
23 to 2. Now, that is a definite hard charger right there.
If this is the moment, I don't know what is. If he gets the win, he would have gained 22 positions.
That's just massive. And I know this has been, this A-Main has had a lot of cautions, but Jock's been on the top side the whole time, nearly, running that cushion. And you know, also, you got to say congrats to Bradley Oldfield as well. He's coming from P19 to P4. So there's probably other drivers as well making up in the mix.
Callum Arthur's gone from 22nd to 7th.
Wow. It's just massive, Brett, some of these guys making these runs. So here we go. Hopefully, we've seen the last of the cautions. And we are green once again here, Brett. Caden Brown leads the field away from Jock Goodyear and Harry Stewart as the guys going to turn number 1. As Oldfield looking for a way around, Stewart goes to the top side. But Goodyear, he is honking that number 22.
Yes, into turn number 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. I believe we'll get the white flag. 1 to run for Caden Brown. Here comes Goodyear. He thought about it. Brown shut the door. And Goodyear got tied into turns 1 and 2. He had to jam on the anchors into turns 3 and 4 this time by. For the final time, checkered flag here at the Virtual Volusia Speedway Park. And Caden Brown goes to victory lane. Redemption here at Volusia.
As the fireworks go off, Brett, what a finish that was. Woo!
Caden Brown goes to victory lane. Second will be Jock Goodyear. Third, Harry Stewart, Bradley Oldfield. Fourth, JD Brown rounds out the top 5. James Robbie, Mitchell Piskalik, Callan Arthur, Clayton Davies, and Joshua Barry rounds out the top 10 here tonight. Brady Baldwin home in 11th. Aaron Hatton in 12th. 13th goes to Graham Smith, Craig Sheeran, Elliot Osborne, Carl Hoffmans, Joel Battelle, David Heileman, Bailey Barnaco, Jason Burke, Regan Tyler, Kane Della, James Edens, and Hayden Cardwell. Well, the Aussies, they get the win here tonight. Caden Brown goes to victory lane.
What a race that was. I know that was a bit lengthy, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll soon surely have, hopefully, our top 3 in the booth. But what a race that was. Very, very entertaining, that's for sure. And Brett, once again, an Aussie clinches a victory in this series. And I believe, I can't remember who won at Lernerville.
Aaron Kelly.
So I think now the Aussies are on a win streak. So Americans had a 6-win streak. So I think this is what, number 3 for the Aussies?
We go back to it's 2 or 3. I know it's 2, maybe 3. I'd have to go back through the record books. But I'll tell you what we are going to do: putting his name into the record books And car number 97, Caden Brown. Caden, well, congratulations on the victory here at Volusia. Is this redemption from a couple of weeks ago?
It sure is, Brett. Obviously, I made a bit of a fool of myself at Lunaville 2 weeks ago. I think I'd quite a comfortable lead and obviously trodden it, and I think my attempt to come back on the trap was even worse. So it's a bit nerve-wracking there. I think David and Jock were a tiny bit better than us at the end, so I had to get a bit defensive. But yeah, it was really good to come home with the win.
This track was always playing havoc, wreaking havoc. The cushion. What was it like trying to hit that cushion? Were you trying to get up on that cushion in 3 and 4, because it pretty much covers from the ground to the fence, and it is just absolutely gnarly.
Exactly right. I was actually super tight during the race, so I was trying to stay away from it. I was trying to stay that car length down off it, just in the moisture still, and I wasn't really thinking of the cushion. I was quite tight and few. I was trying to save as much as I could. So I'm glad to just see that finish line at the end in first place.
Well, Caden, congratulations on the victory here at the Volusia Speedway Park. You're another winner of the Rushton Racing Midget Super League. We'll let you get out of here and celebrate this win with the team. But before we let you go, of course, sponsors, shouts, all this good stuff, buddy. Who makes it happen for you?
Yes, I can't thank all the boys back at DMS Sin Sports enough. We're pretty much a new team, and I think we've won the last two shows at MSL, and then I think Aaron ran second 2 rounds before that too, which is really cool. So I can't thank them enough. I can't thank Aaron enough for giving me a spot during that race, and obviously MG Contracting for being our major sponsor.
All right, there we go. Caden Brown, ladies and gentlemen, home in first spot. Home in second spot tonight, and well, he literally drove the wheels off the 22. He advances 21 positions. Jock Goodyear, Jock, second place tonight. That was close into 1 and 2 and there on that final lap.
Yeah, no, it's obviously good race there with Caden. Pity it didn't go our way, but I know it's a bit of racing. Obviously cool to come back through the field. Thanks to all the boys at Slick Sim Sports for giving me a good car.
Now, with I think it was about 10 to go. I think you were sitting in 4th or 5th at that stage of the race. You were driving that cushion, I want to say, to near perfection. How was it from the cockpit of that race car? Because trying to put lap after lap consistent up there is very tough at its finest. How did you manage to do it for near 35 laps?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously ran the cushion a lot in my time. It's obviously hard to... the cushion on iRacing is very hard to run, and I don't know, it probably just takes a lot of patience and persistence, I suppose, to run up there for 35 laps, but I know it helps that I got a good car thanks to all my team.
No, buddy. Well, look, congratulations. Second place run here tonight. An absolute stellar drive. Up 21 positions in the main event tonight. We'll let you get out of here and we'll let you celebrate. Sponsor shouts, all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes it happen for you?
Yeah, just obviously thanks to everyone at Slick Sim Sports. It's just great team, and all the team sponsors and all my real life sponsors.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Jock, did you want to say something more, or are you good? No, he's good. Yep, no worries. All right, we'll bring in our third place driver here tonight, and Harry Stewart, you come home third place tonight. You must be happy about this result.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting much after me warm up or pole shuffle flip. I didn't really feel good at the top at all, so I was sort of hoping we stay alive for 35 laps and then see what happened after that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you got put under the bus by Ricey while we were off air, while we were taking an ad break. Did you do the same thing in warm-up?
Oh, like flipping?
Yeah.
On the Oh, yeah. I did that multiple times in the little practice.
Well, knowing that you'd done it twice already, they say things comes in threes.
Actually.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, look, I only saw it once. Ricey's seen it twice. So, I mean, together we've seen it 3 times. But, coming into this 35-lap main event, just trying to think where you started, maybe 5th or something like that. I said something like that. Don't correct me, all right, mate?
Same.
What was the mindset, knowing that, the top side was going to be tricky, but, also that bottom side, especially coming out of 4, trying to miss those infield tyres?
Well, I sort of just wanted to follow James and David and Jock and Kate and all that, see what they were doing, and try and find a way around them, because it was like 5 laps I felt pretty good, then the other 30 I was sort of a bit out of shape the whole time, but yeah.
Well, tell you what, come home third place in a stellar field. You must be absolutely thrilled about the result. So we'll let you get to celebrating with the team. But before we let you go, Harry, sponsor shouts, all that good stuff, buddy. Who makes the wheels turn on this number 11 machine?
I'd just like to thank Alan and everyone behind the scenes for putting this on. You guys for broadcasting, everyone at United Sim Sports, Valvoline, Twizy Finance, West End Mazda, Parramatta Isuzu U, Ultimate Dirt TV, and Origin Graphics, and Brad for being nice on the slide and not killing me.
Well, I think he owes you about 3 after the times you spotted for him, but we're going to move you out just so you can't get a reply into that one, right? See, well, it's been another entertaining night from start to finish. We've seen some great racing, we've seen some great slide jobs. We've seen probably a few too many yellows from what we'd like to see, but nonetheless, Volusia, Midgets, Rush Sim Racing, the Midget Super League, man, they did not disappoint.
No, and there was some awesome racing there, Brett, and I hope everyone enjoyed the action live here on Ultimate TV. And Brett, thank you very much once again for allowing me to be in the booth with you, and you'll see me back in next round, wherever that may be.
Yeah, not sure where that is, but don't forget you check out Midget Super League on the World Wide Web. www.midgetsuperleague.com for all the results, schedules, and news and everything that's going on behind the scenes here at the Midget Super League. Of course, a big thanks to Rush Sim Racing, and a big thanks to our sponsors and partners here at Ultimate Dirt TV. Big thanks to Wicked Cushion and World of Thunder iRacing League. Big thanks to, of course, iRacing for allowing us to be on the portal once again. We hope that you've enjoyed the show. And we hope that you come back. And, well, if you haven't done so already, hit that like and follow button on our Facebook page. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. A big thanks to the people that sent through some stars. Leanne, Waylon, big thanks to Peter on being a new supporter here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We appreciate it so very, very much. On behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV and the management behind the scenes, and on behalf of your broadcast team tonight, on behalf of James Rice and myself, Brett Wheeler, we say farewell, good night from Volusia, and until next time, or tonight, at 9 p.m. Eastern, for the Americans that may be just waking up, it's the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum 305 Sprint Car Series. We travel to Sava, Pennsylvania, at the Lernerville Speedway. Good night, everyone.